this vlog, I'm going to be reading every day for the next week. Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am on the journey of becoming a reader again after not being a consistent reader for over 10 years. If you have just come from my previous video, yes, I am wearing the same outfit. This is the same day. I thought I would just keep filming because I didn't want to lose momentum. And also, why not just start today and start reading and get the reading habit going? So in this vlog, I'm going to be reading every day for the next week. And I decided, or I committed myself to reading 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the afternoon for a total of 1 hour a day. And if I felt like I could read more, which I'm sure I will be able to, then I'll do that. But I just wanted to keep the goal small so that way it's achievable and it won't be disappointing when I don't reach it. I have a few options here for what I'm going to read this week. Like I said, I've read all genres and I like to read all genres. But I also know that whenever I was in a reading slump before, the genre that would get me out of it the quickest is a romance novel. So I have quite a few romance novels here. One of them is not romance, but it's still very interesting. So the first book I have here is The Truth About Forever by Sarah Dessen. I didn't mention it in my intro, but I'm 32 years old. I stopped reading when I was in my late teens, early 20s. So I stopped reading consistently around that time. I know I'm probably too old for a YA novel, but I still enjoy them. Yeah, I don't know. I love Sarah Dessen too. I love her writing. I think I'll probably end up reading her even when I'm really old. I don't know. She's one of the ones that always gets it right for me. So this book follows Macy. Macy's dad has just passed away, and she's kind of dealing with the grief of that. She has a job at the library, but she ends up getting a job at a catering company over the summer, and she starts to have feelings for a guy who also works there. This is a strong contender. During the period of not reading consistently, some of the books that I read were Sarah Dessen's, and I don't know. I think this is a strong contender. Like I said, she always gets it right for me. I love Sarah Dessen. The next book I have is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. I know this is a dual POV romance, and it kind of, I think the main characters, they work together on a theme park. Yeah, it's called Dreamland. So I believe it's a theme park. Whenever I feel like I want to read again, this is the book that I always think of. Like, it's the first book that pops into my mind, but I've never picked it up. I don't know why. Because I keep being drawn to it, I kind of want to just pick it up and go ahead and read it. And this is an adult romance novel. I think I may enjoy this one. So that's the second book that I have. The third book I have here is called Water Moon, and this one is, I wouldn't say it's a romantasy, but I think it's a fantasy with a romance subplot. This was recommended to me by a Barnes & Noble employee. So this follows a woman who inherits a pawn shop that only shows up for certain people. Everyone else, they see a ramen restaurant. And And it says, and only the chosen ones, those who are lost, will find a place to pawn their life choices and deepest regrets. This one is so interesting to me because I've never heard anything quite like it. But I also think that I may cry during this, and I'm kind of nervous to start off my journey with this just because I don't want to feel sad. Like, I don't know. I like books and movies and shows that make me feel something. But because of the book that it didn't really put me into the reading slump, but that was like the last huge book that stirred a lot of emotions inside of me. I'm scared to kind of pick up another one and start with that one. So I may read this one, but I may not start with this one. And the last book I have, it's on my Kindle. I actually have a lot of options on my Kindle, but this is the one that I started reading and I thought I really need to finish this. It's called Gods of Jade and Shadow by Silvia Moreno Garcia. She wrote Mexican Gothic. I read that a few years ago. I really enjoyed it. This one follows a woman. What is the time period? 1 second. It says it's set in the Jazz Age, and she accidentally frees the Mayan god of death, and she has to go with him to, there's something that he wants to retrieve. I think it's like a body part of his, so it's something to make him whole again. So she accompanies him on his journey. And I love a good historical fiction. And I think that one is really interesting. And since I loved Mexican Gothic, I know I'm going to love this one. So that is my last option. I think this week I'm going to start with, I may bounce between two. I may bounce between The Fine Print by Lauren Asher and Gods of Jade and Shadow. Just because, I don't know, sometimes I have many opportunities where I can read and I don't have the physical book with me, and I just don't want to carry a physical book with me. And I think having my Kindle would be a great place for that. So I'll just go between the two. It's Saturday, April 18th, I believe. And I think it's almost 7 o'clock. So I think I'll film for the next week or so. And then I'll take you guys along with me. Just so you can kind of see my process and how everything's going. Okay, so I won't carry this intro any longer. I'm going to get into it. I will see you guys later. So I know you're probably expecting me to be showing reading clips, and today is Friday, and I know that I started filming I filmed my intro on Saturday, but I have filmed my reading challenge. But I have a lot of updates, which I don't know, I think I'll just get into them. After I filmed my intro it was Saturday evening, and I thought, okay, I'll start on Sunday. Sunday rolled around and I didn't read. And then Monday rolled around and I still didn't read. And then Tuesday rolled around and I didn't read again. And I didn't wake up early on Wednesday either. I started a video and I had a goal and I didn't see it through. But this is also like this is the real version of what happens. And this is part of the video. This is me getting back into reading. So Wednesday, in the middle of the day, I was on TikTok, as I'm often on TikTok, and I realized, I need something that is going to block me from not scrolling. And I heard of a lot of other people that they use an app that limits the amount of time that they are able to use certain apps. So I downloaded that. It has been so helpful. I think for the rest of the day, I may have been on TikTok for like 10 minutes and that's it. And since then, I have not, I've been on my phone, but I haven't been scrolling. I haven't been caught in like this endless loop, which has been so helpful because I have had to find other ways to use that time, and I've been able to read. I've also just failed at being a YouTuber and just pulling out my camera and filming when I read. So Wednesday and Thursday, I read for, I didn't count, but it was definitely over an hour. Today is Friday, and after I got off work, I ate and I read while I ate, and I read for another hour before I got in the shower and got in bed. Yeah, I just kind of want to update you guys about like my struggles so far, because that's what I said that I would do. I'll kind of go into what I've been reading. I have Kindle Unlimited, so I downloaded, what is that called? I downloaded the fine print. Is that what it's called? Yeah, I downloaded fine print on my Kindle. I have feelings about this book. I think I'm like on page 75. It just seems like there's really no romance. And I get like, if you like this book, you probably like, you haven't even gotten that far. There's so much more that happens later, but I feel like when I read it, I'm just like, I want to read something else. I started on, or I kept reading Gods of Jade and Shadow. I like that a little bit more. Oh, I have also been listening to an audiobook. It was one that I had started maybe a year ago. It's another romance, but instead of listening to music, I just decided to play an audiobook. I don't get the same feeling as when I read a book. I don't feel as connected to the story, but I think it was a good way to just kind of immerse myself in books. But I'm just going to continue with Gods of Jade and Shadow, and I'll update you guys in a bit. I thought I would update you guys on where I am right now. Last night you saw me saying that I was going to read some more and then falling asleep, which I don't know. I didn't feel sleepy when I was filming, and then as I was reading, I noticed like my eyes started like getting really heavy. I don't know, but yeah, that was kind of embarrassing. That was probably, I think I read for about not even 10 minutes. So this morning, today is Saturday, I woke up, and as soon as I woke up, I started reading. I started reading the Gods of Jade and Shadow, or I continued to read the Gods of Jade and Shadow. Guys, I did not expect there to be a romance subplot in that book at all. I'm so excited. I got all the feels from that one scene that I wanted in the other book. And I don't even know if this is a romance that will continue, because I'm only on, I think I'm on page 70 something right now, but yeah, I don't know if this is something that will continue on later. But even if it doesn't, like, I don't know, I'm a little excited. I haven't been able to read all day, which Usually if I had, like, you in the past, it was just kind of like, okay, I didn't read, like, I'm not thinking about it, but I've been thinking about it all day. Like, I can't wait to get back. I couldn't wait to get back home just so I can continue the story. So I'm going to make my dinner. It's really late. I think it's like, what time is it? 9, almost 10 maybe. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna make my dinner and I'm gonna read as I eat, and I'll give you guys updates as I go. So, as you all know by now, I failed my reading challenge for a second time. Even though I failed it, I still feel like I learned a lot from. One second. Sometimes I talk and then my sister has a bird and I'm so used to like just blocking out the sound of the bird. I'll be in the middle of filming and then I realize like it's so loud you guys can probably hear it. Anyways, I failed my reading challenge for the second time. Even though I failed it twice, I still feel like I've learned and gained a lot from the challenge. Going into it, it was just a way for me to kind of get back into the habit of reading again, but I don't know, I've gained more from it than I expected to. After the challenge was completed, oh, I didn't say, it's June 19th, it's June 20th now. After the time for the challenge ended, I did an update immediately after. We had home renovations and then honestly just life got in the way. So it's been a while since I've last filmed. In the time since the challenge has ended, I deleted my social media off of my phone. I've deleted all the apps. While the challenge was going on, I used this one app that it limits the time you can use whatever app you choose, and that worked really well. I think I gave myself like 30 minutes a day in like 5-minute increments. TikTok was just taking up too much time. It was kind of hard to break that habit, and once I found some way to like limit it, which was the app, it made it a lot easier to I don't know, just have time to do other things, and it just kind of felt freeing. And even when I completely deleted it off my phone, I just felt like so much, it was like a weight lifted off my shoulders. I didn't feel like I needed to scroll, and I haven't felt the need to download it back. I know some people like they feel like if you don't really delete it all the way, it's still there for you to, I don't know, it's still there for you and you may just be tempted to download it, but I haven't felt that. Anyways, yeah, I deleted social media and I deleted all of the apps. So I feel pretty good about that. I also realized how bad my attention span was. My sister and I went to Barnes and Noble, and I was, browsing as you do, and I realized that, I can actually read through a whole blurb. And I know that sounds crazy because I don't know, most people can do that, but I remember in the past I would just go around and I would look at books and I would read the first sentence and I'd just be like, okay, like it's not capturing me. I would put it back on the shelf, like, and now when I browse, I could read through the whole thing. It sounds so bad now that I think about it, like the fact that I was in that space, but I'm so glad that I'm out of it now. I feel like social media has hurt me more than it's helped me. And to not have it, or not having it on my phone or in my life on a daily basis has, I don't know, I don't have to worry about it. Like, I feel so much better. I know this is supposed to be a reading challenge, and like I said in my intro that TikTok and Instagram and all these different social media apps, they're like, that's its own issue, but these are, I don't know, for me, they just kind of go hand in hand. So when I talk about what I've learned from the reading challenge, what I've gained from the reading challenge, and I'm focusing a lot on social media, like the social media aspects of it, I don't know, they go together. So at least for me, they do. I'm so glad that I did this challenge, because if I hadn't have done it, I would have still been scrolling. I'm so glad that's not part of my life right now, because I have so much more time for myself. And it's not just like time to read, it's just time to do other things. Like, I realize how many, not habits, but like hobbies that I don't do anymore, or don't love anymore, or didn't love anymore, because I was consumed with other things and my time was put towards other things that didn't benefit me. So yeah, that's what I've learned, and that's what I've gained from this reading challenge. In terms of reading, I've read much more in the past month or two than I have in the past year. I'm so sure of it. And weirdly enough, don't come for me, I have not finished any of the books that, especially the ones that I started in the challenge. And you're probably wondering why, because there has been enough time to finish. But The God of Jade and Shadow, I am so happy I read that. I'm so happy that that was the one that I found my way to. In the past, I used to read and like consume the book. So like I would start in the morning and I would finish it at night. But now I take a lot longer to read books. Part of that is because I have, I'm an adult and I have to go to work and I have, other adult responsibilities. But this was the first book that I've just kind of wanted to savor. I don't know, the moments are so sweet between the main male character and the main female character. It's just, I don't really want the book to end. So I believe I have like 70 pages, and every time I open it, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. And then I just close it. I just close it back up, and I'm probably going to finish that in my next vlog. I don't know, I just want to take my time with that one. So just kind of like let me enjoy. Like, if this is a habit that I want to remain in my life and I want to fall in love with again, I kind of just want to enjoy the book. So I'm reading things at my own pace in the way I want, and I hope that is understandable for you guys. I know you probably want to hear a review about how I feel about the book. I really enjoy it so far. So maybe I'll do a wrap up with all of the books that I've read in maybe that will be like when I do a full review. The other book I read in this video was The Fine Print. I think I got to 70-ish pages, and I don't really know how I feel about the book. I think I might give it another chance. The next thing I read was actually an article. It was called, I believe it was called The Lost Children of Sarah Lawrence. This was actually, I don't want to say it was an interesting novel, but it was a novel. I don't want to really say it's like an interesting article because it's, I don't know, it just feels weird for me to say that just because it's other people's lives, and it was, I don't know, what happened to them was really just horrifying, and just, I don't know, it was just so awful. But I read that. It was about a group of students who, they go to Sarah Lawrence, I believe it's Sarah Lawrence College. They all live together, and one of the students invites her father to stay with them for it was supposed to be a short amount of time, but it ended up being much longer, and they basically find themselves in a cult, and her father is kind of the leader of all of this. Okay, so I don't know where I left off because my phone ran out of batteries. I think I'm gonna call it here. I'm gonna start a new vlog fresh after this, but I just wanted to say thank you guys so much. If you watched this whole entire video through, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, I know it was not the smoothest of challenges, but it was definitely the realest. If you guys want to see more from me, please subscribe, but no pressure. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.